Welcome PyCoders to the core Python tutorials for the beginner. So in last video tutorial we have seen the how to use an array and the operations related to the array. So let's continue with the series. In the next video series we want to see in the class and objects in Python. In this series we will got to know about what is class in Python, what is objects in Python, how to create the class and object, and the uses of class and objects in Python. So let's get started, guys. So the Python is an object-oriented programming language. As of we all know, the Python is supports for procedures too, and the Python is supports for object-oriented programming too. So the object-oriented programming, that is OOPS, focuses on creating reusable patterns of a code, in contrast to the procedural programming, which focuses on the explicit sequence of instructions only. When working on the complex program, in particular the object oriented programming, let us you reuse the code and write that code in more readable format, which in turns makes it more maintainable. One of the most important concepts in object oriented programming is distinctions between the class and objects. So let's get started to understand the definition about the class and object. If I'm talking about a class, technically the class is defined as a blueprint created by the programmer for an object, and this defines the set of attribute which will be characterized any object is that is initialized from this class. So what is class here? The class is a blueprint of an application program that is created by the program. If I'm understanding about a class by very basics, if I'm talking about the class, sorry, okay, a class, what is a class? It means a class is a I said is a blueprint which is created by programmer. All right, so this is a class itself, but if I'm understanding technically about the class, a class is a user defined data type. I said a class is a user defined data type which will be the set of data members. I just write in by such a way, and member functions. What is a class itself? A class is a blueprint of programmer which is going to be created, and we can call it as a user defined data type, and which will be the set of data members and member function. Now the question is, what is mean by data members and member function? The data member means the variable those are defined in the class, and the member function means the function those are operate in the class. So that how we can create the class in this particular way inside our program. So if I'm trying to understand about an object, what is an object? Object is a runtime instance of a class. Object is a runtime instance of a class. We can say an object is a runtime instance, or an object is a variable of class type. We can say the class is a data type, then object is that variable, so we can initialize that particular way. The object is a runtime instance or is a variable of a class type. So there are these are used to create the patterns in our programming and then make it use for the patterns in our programming in the form of objects. So in this tutorial, guys, we will go through the creating of classes, initiating the objects, initialization the attributes with the constructor methods, and working with more than any objects in the same classes. So let's get started by creating the class. So what is the syntax to define the class in a programming? In Python, you want to define the class by the class keyword, and then you are supposed to write the name of class here, right? So that how you can return, and then you have to write the colon. And as of by the standard way, it will supports for the data members, but the data members of the class is not going to be separate added inside the class. In Python, it must be present at in the member function of that particular class. So how we can create the member function? The member function going to be created by such a way: def then space name of member function. I'm write mf for member function, and then we have to write their arguments, and then it consists of the statements like this. So that how we can create the class in our programming, but it is necessary to add the self keyword over to there. The self keyword, the interpreter will understand this particular member function will belongs to that class. So every time I need to add this one. If suppose we will have the multiple member function, then I can write one single member function like this and the another one member function like this. So you can write it down such a way. So you can close the object, you can close the class by writing down the next instructions at here. That how you can works in Python. All right, so let's get started by creating an same class using the same syntax. So this that would be the syntax for creating a class. So I will open my IDLE. All right, so I will create a new file over here. I will just make it very simple. All right, so here I'm going to be created a class said information. All right, colon, and then I will define the definition. I will just define the two different functions over here. Okay, so what are the functions itself? Consider one single function which is called as input info. All right, which is belongs to self. Okay, colon, and then here I'm going to be input the three different values of a class. So the one is their first name, another one is last name, and another one is mobile number. So I will define the data members of a class inside the class using self keyword, self dot suppose fn, which is a first name, and I will write input enter first name. All right, again the same one, self dot ln, then again I will write input enter last name. All right, again the same one, self dot mn for mobile, input sorry enter mobile number. All right, that how we can write all the code inside our method at the input info, and then I will define the next method as show info, which is again as a self as an argument. All right, and I am printing all these values inside one single print statement. So I will write information colon, I will define the AND operator here because I need to join the two different values, sorry, two different print statements. And then I will printing out the message like I said first name colon, I will write myself dot fn, then again last name colon, I will have the space down at here, last name colon, and you can simply define it by the multiple AND as well. Okay, it must be like this, as fn I am writing, then I will write the AND equal to like this. I will copy this line because I need this for printing the last name and printing the mobile. So I'm just changing my text over here like last name, and it will be like ln, the last one must be the mn, and instead of first name we want to write the mobile number. All right, I'm deleting this. Okay, we have created a class, so I will write an file name as class example. So we are successfully going to be created a class here. So we have aimed by the class, and we are going to type the next instructions from here. So this class is containing two different methods which having the input info and show info, and that will have the data members as fn, ln, and mn over to there. Now I need to create an object of this class. So let's get started to create an object of this class. How we gonna be create an object and how we gonna be access this method. To create an object, we are simply having the syntax like this. To create an object, we will have the syntax object creation as said, and we will have the syntax like this, object name, I will write my object name here equal to my class name and open close parenthesis, that's it. So that how we're going to be created objects in Python. So let's get started by creating an object. So here it seems I will got create an object of obj equal to the class name is information. So I'm going to be creating an object, and if suppose I am print this object, let's by printing this object I will save this code, run the model, and you can get the main object at this location. So we are successfully got created an object. Now I need to call all this method input info and show info. Then how it will be like that object dot input info, all right, and object dot show info. All right, save this code out, run this module again. I'm running this module. You can get enter name means it will execute input info. It will have three different parts. So I will enter my all the information. Suraj Pawar, mobile number is this one. Okay, so the information, first name is Suraj, last name Pawar, and mobile number, that is what we have entered at that particular way. What if like you could think I am using the self here, self defines the data member. What if I am removing this self and then rechecking the output? Let's talk about some output here. So you can get enter first name. So I will enter the value like Suraj, okay, Pawar, and I'm entering the mobile number. Suppose a part of example, and you can get an error. The error because the information object has no attribute called fn. To define an attribute of the classes which are the data members, we need to define the self keyword over to there. So to every time if I need to define a class and objects attribute, so I need to define the self keyword inside the class over to there. All right, so this is a one single example of creating the class and creating an object. What is object we have seen by this video, what is class we have seen, how the class is going to be created in this particular way, and we have seen the multiple times. What if like I will have the multiple objects over here? We know this concept, like if I'm working with multiple objects, say object 1, object 1, object 1. So 6 different values are going to be stored. One 3 packages for object and another 3 packages for object 1. So let's run this program out. I'm writing my first name Suraj Pawar, mobile number. All right, so I'm writing my first name at here is like suppose Amit Maji, mobile number. I'm hitting an enter. You could get the three different blocks related to an object. As of we have seen the definition of a class. Class is a blueprint for our application program. So this is our application that I need to get all kinds of inputs from the video from the user and show it down to the screen. So we have defined our attributes like this, and an object is a runtime instance. In object only we can access all these methods of these classes, right? So that how we're going to be created a class and objects in Python. Guys, if you like this video, if you have some knowledge by this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're not getting subscriber to our channel, then what you waiting for? Do subscribe to our channel here, and keep stay tuned our channel, keep watching these videos. Thanks for watching these videos. Bye bye.